Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of VGU Test Drive. And today I am playing and talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. They had 2 weekends of the beta going on not too long ago by the time you're watching this. I was actually out of town the entire time they had the first weekend, which was the exclusive weekend, which, I got a code and everything, so you would think I'd try to play during that weekend, but sadly, that was not the case for me this time. I simply got on during the free weekend. Now, I will say I played one match during the original weekend, but it was literally like in the last hours of the final day. I think it was shutting down Wednesday morning. I played a little bit on Tuesday night because that's all I had the energy for. I had a long ass weekend. Good weekend, great weekend. Had a lot of fun. Went to go see my little brother play football in San Antonio, Texas, and also went to an anime convention that just happened to be going on at the same time down there. So it was a lot of fun. But I'm back, and I'm here to talk about some video games. First off, being Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big Call of Duty player. I'll speak diplomatically. Call myself a Call of Duty player, where I play a lot of these games. I've played all of them since Call of Duty 4, pretty much. I've played the campaigns of most of them. I've put dozens and dozens of hours into most of the multiplayer. I've put hundreds of hours into select few. And when it comes to the Black Ops series, I have a weird relationship with the Black Ops series. Not that I think they're inferior to the Modern Warfare franchise or to some of the other future entries or even the World War II entries. The thing about the Black Ops games are, I feel like they are always objectively the best multiplayer feature set, and they're never quite the best ones in my heart. By that I mean, I feel like a lot of the Black Ops games have done the most with like new features in Call of Duty. Not just, oh, we have this new cool gun that has this cool new gimmick, or oh, we have this cool new piece of equipment, or this cool new perk, or even like, oh, we have a cool map that has a cool gimmick. I feel like the Black Ops games are always trying to do something original and trying to add a new element to the Call of Duty Black Ops, or to the Call of Duty online multiplayer formula at all. You think about wager matches and COD points in the original Black Ops. That was, something completely different. And the idea of, oh, if I want to unlock things, I have to have COD points. I can't just rank up and just use the weapon. Adding COD points to it was another, extra layer of gameplay and competency that you needed to live up to before you could play all the weapons you'd want to play. Going forward into the franchise, the whole Pick 10 system, that's the Black Ops franchise creating that right there. Score streaks, Black Ops is responsible for that as well. I feel like, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare original trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, they were responsible for the first couple games, and they were responsible for being the load bearers of the franchise. But once we got to like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, it was really, a lot of the fan base were flipping to Black Ops being the main series to care about. It happened gradually over time, but I feel like Black Ops is really the sub-franchise of Call of Duty that people get the most excited about now. And I've never quite been in that group. I was really on board for Modern Warfare 2019. I really enjoyed that. But I wouldn't even say that I'm like a big recent Modern Warfare franchise fan. I think Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 2 has been just fine. Modern Warfare 3 I actually like quite a bit when it comes to multiplayer. Didn't play either of those campaigns. And when it came to Black Ops, I know Black Ops 4 did not have a campaign. Oh, and back to the innovations I was talking about. Black Ops 4, you didn't even heal automatically. You had to like do a stim in order to heal yourself. And I think a lot of the reason people use stim in gameplay now in more recent Call of Duties is because of the muscle memory that was built up during Call of Duty Black Ops 4, because you had to stim yourself if you wanted to heal. So I say all that to say, Black Ops does a lot. I think a lot of the big swings with the Call of Duty formula happen in the Black Ops games. I just aren't always, I find myself not being fans of the Black Ops games a lot. Because when they take their swings, It's not that, oh, you're fucking with the formula and now the game I love isn't quite the game I love. It's not that perspective. It's more so that the things that they change kind of imply that they care about different things than I care about when we're playing Call of Duty game. Like, for example, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the futuristic war one. That game's fun to play, I suppose, but the story completely fell apart. The story in that game is absolute dog shit, and I feel like it's absolute dog shit because they knew they had to do a future. They knew they had to do a future Call of Duty because that was the trend at the time. But they didn't really care on how to make that on how to make it fit within the Black Ops universe. And also, I think that they just knew, and this is probably definitely the case, most people don't play the campaigns anyway. Most people do not play the story modes. So it's like, hey, why even care about the story? Let's do what we want, and let's make the campaign fun to play, and then just drop all of the narrative content and just not care about that part of it. So it made for a game that was, 4-player co-op in the campaign, which was the first time they've had that in quite a while since World at War. They had a lot. You could choose your own loadouts. There was progression in the campaign. It was really, really cool. But the story was god-awful. And that only happened because they prioritized features and they prioritized gameplay hooks over anything thematic, anything narrative. And even though I like these games for the gameplay primarily, the fact that they often just don't give a shit about the thematic or the narrative elements of Call of Duties kind of make me not be fans of the Black Ops series. So historically, Black Ops is lower tier for me. I, of course, enjoy all these games. I play all these games. I've played the narrative campaigns for every Black Ops game up to this point. But yeah, usually they're still like second tier in my heart. There's like 2 or 3 Call of Duty games in my top 100 games of all time. None of them are Black Ops games, just for context. Now, I say all that to say this. I think Black Ops 6 has potential to be my ultimate favorite Call of Duty multiplayer. And I'm going to tell you why. The potential I see here is they got the gunplay model from Black Ops Cold War. And I did like Black Ops Cold War. But that was our first Call of Duty we've had that was on a slightly different engine. And when I say it's on a different engine, I mean, by the time Black Ops Cold War came out, we were already in the Modern Warfare era, the more recent Modern Warfare era, the 2019 reboot and beyond. And with those games came a different gun handling model. And that gun handling model was super good and super visceral, but the Black Ops gunplay model felt a little bit old school. And I don't know what it is about it, but it felt old school in a way where it felt chunky. And I think that was the first Black Ops game I played where things felt very chunky, like kind of clunky a little bit. Like these guns feel like Fisher-Price guns, like they feel like Nerf guns, less than they feel like actual sleek weapons. Like the game just didn't feel realistic very much. It just, there was something about the movement systems, and I think just the really cartoonishly wide slides and the way people would dolphin dive and whatnot around the map. It just didn't seem quite all the way there. There was something that made Black Ops Cold War feel like a random offshoot rather than the next serious iteration of the Call of Duty franchise. And I put a lot of hours into it too. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was above playing it, but it didn't stick out in my heart. The reason Black Ops 6 I feel sticks out is the feeling of the gunplay and the feeling of the movement finally match. And by that I mean, everyone knows the main reason anyone is playing Call of Duty, most people are not playing Call of Duty because they give a shit what happens to Captain Price. They give a shit about what happens to Mason or Frank Woods or any of these characters. No one cares about the story of Call of Duty. And if you do, you are in the extreme minority. The people care about how it feels to play. Call of Duty is consistently some of the best shooting, some of the smoothest shooting you can get. It feels good to just pop guys in this game. It consistently feels that good. And they make it feel good across every single weapon. in a lot of different scenarios. But I think the thing that has always been a little bit archaic, and I only feel this way because I've been shown a better path now, the thing that has felt archaic in these games is the movement, where you are locked in to, hey, if I'm on the ground, if I'm prone, then I'm locked forward. I can't rotate too much. I can't do too much on the ground if I'm locked in prone. And that's kind of that's the trade-off. If I'm locked onto the ground, I'm harder to hit because I'm all the way on the ground and harder to see in a lot of cases. And to counteract that, you don't have the same range of movement as you do when standing or crouching. And that's just how it's been. Same thing with a dolphin dive. Dolphin diving, you're locked into that animation until you hit the ground. Once you hit the ground, you're in your regular prone position, but you're still locked to the same slow radius of turning and everything. Now with this new Omni movement system that they've talked about, it is very much so inspired and feels kind of like Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3, for those of you who don't know, I love Max Payne 3. It is in that top 100 games list. It is absolutely in there. I want to say it's top 25. But Max Payne 3 just feels so good to just move around with the character animations, and just they do something with the blending of the animations where your gun's always up and you're always like able to shoot from any position, and it's really hard to get into an awkward position where the animations will be held up where Max can't shoot. Black Ops 6 is very much so in that same conversation where you're talking about just smooth movement, where yes, now you can dolphin dive from anywhere. Now it's not just, okay, let me run forward so that I can dolphin dive. It's, oh shit, I'm getting shot at from down the hall. Let me dolphin dive to the left out of this window and still be locked into the same direction I was facing so I can get out of that situation. I've done it a million times where someone's around a corner and I want to pop them, but I don't want to just simply walk out there. Well, now I can dolphin dive around the corner, pop them as I'm landing, and boom, now I've taken down the enemy with the element of surprise. And I'm surprised by just how smooth it is, because everyone made such a big stink about, oh, you can dolphin dive in any direction. Fuck that. You can slide in any direction. And that feels great. Being able to just slide down any, especially when you're in the middle of a gunfight, it is really awesome to be able to say, oh God, I'm getting shot at, I'm about to die. Well, let me just do a quick juke move out of the way of the bullets, and I fucking got him. Now, I'll say it is a little bit frustrating to some people when you're getting, moved on like that. It's basically the evolution of drop shotting. For those of you who don't know, the drop shot back in the day in Call of Duty was just, hey, I'm getting shot at, let me immediately go prone. If I immediately go prone, they are still trying to shoot my head from where I was standing when I'm already on the ground. And it was an effective method, and I used it quite a bit in my Call of Duty career. This is just the evolution of that, where now it's not just let me go prone. Now it's let me dive out of the way, let me slide out of the way, let me do all these other crazy moves. And it all feels good because it doesn't feel like it's hindering your shooting. It feels like before now, it used to be, all right, I can shoot smoothly, or I can do a juke move. If I'm doing a juke move, I have to sacrifice where I'm aiming in order to hit that move. Now it feels like, oh, I can hit any move while aiming in any direction. And it just feels seamless. It feels really, really seamless. And I enjoy it quite a bit. Now, the question is going to be, is this enough for people to want to hop onto this game? Is this enough to change the meta? Is this enough to make people play differently? I'll say for me, it is. And I'll give an example of this. The movement kind of, sort of, has made sniping feel a little bit more fun for me. Like, I don't know what it is, but I don't often snipe in Call of Duty games. Now, I'll be honest, snipers are pretty satisfying to use in most Call of Duty games. You can get a one-shot headshot, one shot to the upper chest. When you're on a good streak with a sniper rifle, it can feel pretty satisfying, but it's hard to do because once you take away the ability to take away guys up close, it is really hard to just stand in contest with all these other weapons. You don't want to challenge someone with an SMG if all you have is a sniper rifle. Same thing if they have a assault rifle and all you have is your sniper. Same thing for pistols and all that stuff. Well, this game, the balance on the sniper rifles and the pistols, I feel like they're very balanced for, I don't know, they're easier to use. I think the damage is a little bit tuned up. Sniper rifles, I feel like, are the same as they've ever been, especially the starting sniper that they gave us in the beta. It is semi-automatic, which means its damage is lower. It is going to take upper chest shots in order to get a one shot. But I feel like I was able to get that pretty easily because the maneuverability is so much better with this new movement. It is so much, it's difficult to, oh man, I'm looking at my gameplay now and I am missing some sniper shots, but hopefully you guys aren't seeing that by the time you're watching this. This game just feels so easy to maneuver. And they also have another new feature where whenever you're peeking around a corner, traditionally if you're peeking around a corner, you're pretty much just stared directly at that corner. There is no leaning in this game like old school PC shooters used to have. And because you can't lean around corners, if you want to see around the corner, you have to expose a great deal of yourself around that corner in order to see. Now, you will dynamically kind of just tilt around a corner. Same thing with not just sniper rifles, assault rifles, SMGs, all that. You'll just tilt around a corner dynamically and be able to just get an extra little peek at what's going on over there. And that, with the addition to the much more smoother aiming mechanics and movement mechanics, you can do all kinds of movement and not lose where you're aiming. And I feel like that has led me to feel a little bit more comfortable to pull out a sniper. Yes, I get annoyed because I haven't unlocked any of the closer range scopes yet, so I'm looking a mile out with the scope, still trying to like move and do juke moves for people that are like 10 feet in front of me. But I'm often able to do it. And I'm still not perfect with it, but it feels way more possible now because of that movement. I can maneuver a little bit more in front of me, so now the gun doesn't have to pick up all of the slack of me not shooting right straight in front of me. So I really love that. I mentioned the pistols a second ago. Pistols in this game are great. Now, previous Black Ops games have had some strong pistols, but the pistols in this game just feel chunky. Every gun model in this game just feels a little bit big. Just feels a little bit hefty. Like I said, the Black Ops Cold War kind of visual language is still in effect here. Everything does kind of feel like big Fisher-Pricey type of, scale to them. Your pistols are the same way. You're getting pistols that are supposed to be your regular, multi-tap. And when I say multi-tap, I mean like semi-automatic. That's what I mean. Semi-automatic pistols here. But they have the scaling and the sound design that just make every shot feel chunky. Like some of these pistols just have the design that makes them feel chunky to the point of a revolver. And those of you who have used revolvers in Call of Duty games, you will know that oftentimes revolvers are like, one or two shots and they're dead. One shot headshot often. Sometimes if you get a really powerful revolver, like I think the tier revolver in the latest Black Ops 3, that thing can do one shot, one kill very often. It is a laser beam, but you really got to aim that because you can miss those shots easy. I'm using the regular USP, the regular old pistols, not even the final pistol in the beta, because the final pistol in the beta has pretty high damage. I remember the first weekend people were saying, oh, I'm getting 2 shots with this pretty consistently. I'm not quite there yet with that pistol, but the pistols I've been using have been pretty accurate. The fire rate, I think, has been pretty slow on all of them. Not revolver slow, not even Desert Eagle slow, but like not where you can just tap the trigger as fast as possible and turn it into a SMG. They have not been that fast. So because of that, I feel like I've been able to kind of just get better shots with the pistol. There's actually a clip that's probably going to be in this video somewhere if I can find it in the gameplay, where I got a little 3-piece. I got a triple feed with just the pistol. Because even with 10 shots, you're able, if you can line folks up, you can really do some work with the pistols. And it just gives more confidence for me using every weapon in the game. And also, similar to other Call of Duty games, you have very low ammo when you start off. You get about 2 extra magazines in every gun once you spawn. But that low amount of ammunition kind of motivates you to use that pistol more. If you have the overkill wildcard installed, which, is just an extra perk you can install to say, oh, let me break one rule of the class system. And overkill basically allows you to have a primary weapon in your primary and secondary slots. Usually secondary slot is only for pistols or rocket launchers or whatever. Also, shotguns back in the primary slot, which means they're going to be powerful, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, it just encourages you to get out there and do a little bit more damage. And it also encourages you to actually use the ammo packs that everyone starts the game with by default, but there are other special abilities in the game. So yeah, ultimately, I really do think this gameplay, this movement specifically, I should say, the movement is just super, super buttery smooth. And it just feels good to just move around when aiming, move around when just firing by the hip. It just feels like I can shoot at all times. So often, I feel like whenever I play these games, I die because of something that was out of my control. Now, of course, a lot of those times, it wasn't out of my control. I'm just bad. And I understand that to be the case. But, you know, sometimes it'll be like, oh, I'm stuck in this animation, or, oh, I'm prone and I tried to turn around on them, but because I'm prone, my turn radius is super small. So it's hard for me to really get that distance on the stick. There's a myriad of reasons, a lot of caveats where someone could sit there and be like, well, damn, I couldn't have done this because the game stopped me from doing it. This feels like the game where there is no prone penalty with your aim. You just turn quickly. There is no, you know, whenever you're dolphin diving, you can aim in the middle of a dolphin dive. You can turn on people. You can do all types of stuff. In fact, one of the new little medals that they have, you've probably seen them pop up during the gameplay. There's a bunch of different medals you can get for like double kills, for like headshots. They'll just give you just a slight little pinch of bonus XP. This game kind of has that. Ooh, come on. I'm looking at my gameplay now and I'm like seeing shots I missed and whatnot. Y'all probably aren't even looking at the same footage I'm looking at, so let me shut up about that. But yeah, it just feels like there's nothing hindering you in this game. You can always pop off, you can always fire. And the only thing really inhibiting you is your ability to acquire a target and to deal with that target. Deal with meaning take a shot or dodge the shot. And it just feels like it's all in your hands, and I really, really like that. And that's something that I don't feel from even Modern Warfare 3, the latest Modern Warfare 3. I really like it. I really do think it feels smooth to play. I just have a lot of fun with it. But when you're sliding, when you're, you know, diving and whatnot, you get locked into these animations, and they're short animations, but they're still animations that you get locked into and have to take account for when you're using them in the middle of combat. In this game, in Black Ops 6, it really does feel like they've kind of democratized it, where people are doing crazy moves, even in Modern Warfare 3, even in Modern Warfare 2. People have been doing crazy moves in all these other Call of Duty games for years, and I have not really been able to keep up with those moves. I'm not good on the sticks like that. I'm not talented when it comes to the movement of Call of Duty. But this game kind of simplifies it feels like, where now I can do things in any direction without having to aim that direction. I feel like movement in Call of Duty games were very much so tied to how fast you can aim in a direction. You want to dolphin dive to the left? Well, how fast can you get your cursor to the left to do that dolphin dive? Now it's not about how fast can I aim, it's about how fast can I move my body. How fast can I tilt the stick there, instead of, oh man, I really have to make sure I'm, you know, aiming my shots, because now I can just aim shots at just enemies. Enemies are the only ones I have to worry about in Black Ops 6. It is not about, oh, I gotta aim so I can move in that direction. It is now strictly, I aim at enemies and I just like move my body where my body needs to go. And it feels seamless. It feels like, you know, it feels like your movement and the actions you're doing with your hands are kind of more in harmony than ever before. And I really like that. Now, there are other features I'm excited about when it comes to Black Ops 6. I am so excited for traditional prestige. I have been missing that for so long. That is part of the reason why I fell in love with this franchise in the first place, where there was always something to do. There's always a reward to collect, traditional challenges to unlock. I've despised these last couple of years where it's been, hey, welcome to season 6 of Call of Duty. All of the challenges from season 1 through 5 are gone. So like if you were working towards, oh, I need 20 headshots and I'm at headshot 19, well, the season changed since the last time you've been here, so you can't do that challenge anymore. I've always found that annoying. I've always found that frustrating. Traditional prestige has always been you unlock items, you unlock you unlock items and you unlock these challenges over time, and the challenges stick with you. And as you rank up, you still have those challenges, and those challenges were always a well of XP you could get. Because the whole thing about prestige is, hey, you rank up 1 to 50, and at rank 50, you finish that rank, and it's like, hey, do you want to start over? And everything's locked again, and you basically do the whole cycle all over again. Which sounds like hell to some people, but to me, that's kind of part of the fun. And you get a little token for 1 permanent unlock just to say, hey, you really like the Simtex? Well, hey, now you can have the Simtex no matter what rank you are. Oh, you really like the AK-47? Well, now you got an AK no matter what rank you are. And you unlock those as you continue prestiging, and it was a reason to kind of invest, where it's like, hey, the grind is the fun part of Call of Duty. It's not just, hey, I'm killing things and it's fun moment to moment to kill stuff. It still is fun. It has always been fun moment to moment to kill things. But the progression is what made it addictive. The progression is what made it something I would come back to all the time, every time. That's not really the case when the seasonal challenges stack up. I remember I played so much Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War because Cold War, at the end of its life cycle, when all of its seasonal content was done, they said, fuck it, all of the challenges from the previous seasons, let's just put them up and just let people be able to unlock them at any point, no matter what the season is. Just leave it up for people forever. And I played so much more of that game because it was one of the only Call of Duties where I could work on multiple different challenges at a time. It wasn't just, oh, this week I have 20 challenges I can work on. And then once I've collected like 10 of those, now I only have 10 challenges I can work on. No, traditional prestige was you sit here, you can work on everything. No matter what you're doing, you're ticking away at some box. And that was so fun to me. And it gave me a reason to keep trying out new things also. Because even if let's say the seasonal challenge this week, I don't like using this SMG. I really don't want to use this SMG. Well, then now it's like, all right, well, I don't have to use the SMG to unlock that. But if I want to switch it up and get new challenges, I can play that new SMG. But I'm still working towards my overall headshot challenges, my overall silencer challenges, my overall, kills after a dolphin dive, my overall XYZ. There were always other challenges. It never felt like I'm having to make this one new and unique gameplay choice only because I have to unlock that one challenge and that's the only thing I can work towards. Now it's like, all right, now I can make other smaller changes and still feel like I'm working towards something. So I'm very, very excited for that. I'm excited for the theater mode that is apparently coming back with this game, only on the next gen version. So PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles are only gonna get that update, and PC, I'm sure. But I'm excited for that because the theater mode was a big reason why so many Call of Duty codes got popular, machinimas and whatnot. And also for me, as someone who makes content, it's very easy for me to go into theater mode and hit play on an old match. Specifically, it's easier for me to have that match saved even when I'm not recording and then be like, oh man, that was really good. I went 20-0 in that game. But no one's going to see it unless I save it in theater mode, come back later, and then hit record there, because that's a fleeting moment and I don't capture every single thing that I would like to. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for this game. Even the campaign, like I talked about, the Black Ops campaigns aren't my favorite, but to be honest, the Black Ops campaigns are the most bombastic campaigns in the series. Like, yeah, Modern Warfare 1 through 3 are very bombastic, but even those were kind of serious. The Black Ops games, even though they're kind of mean and a little bit paranoid and a little bit, just very fearful. They come from a place of fear and hate, but they are also the most over-the-top 80s, 90s style, whatever you want to say, action movies. They are just ridiculous. They're letting you blow up everything, just constant stimulation all the time. So I enjoy that sometimes. We'll see if the politics in this one are so egregious that it's hard for me to even put myself in that mindset. But I have every reason to like Black Ops 6. I think I'm going to really enjoy this one. Thank God it's on Game Pass, because I hate having to buy these games every year. I wish they would just turn over into some games as service model that's like, in perpetuity, but we keep buying them. I keep buying them. Now, in all fairness, I have not bought a Call of Duty game at full price in many, many years. Even even Modern Warfare 3 from last year. I bought that for what, $20 at Walmart once it was on sale a couple months after launch. Black Ops 6, I am a Game Pass subscriber. I think I might have to re-up by the time this game comes out, but I plan to, because that is how I'm going to get my Call of Duty fix for the year. So I'm very much so looking forward to that. And, PlayStation, I've been so used to playing these games on my PlayStation, even though you're looking at Xbox footage. I've historically bought these games on PlayStation because that has been my primary place to play. But I've gotten an Xbox Series X towards the beginning of this console life cycle. I've enjoyed my Series X a lot, and the fact that this is going to be on Game Pass day one, I will absolutely be playing this on Xbox instead of PlayStation. This will be the first time ever that I've played a Call of Duty game on launch on anything that isn't PlayStation. So, that says a lot there, but I doubt it's going to be different. I doubt anything's going to be special about that. In fact, nowadays, even when I picked up Modern Warfare 3 on Game Pass after already owning a PlayStation copy, all that progress is in the cloud, so I'm not even missing anything. Plus, I didn't start the campaign, so it's not like I was missing any progression there. And I will say also, very interested in the zombies mode in this one. That's not part of this video at all, but I'm hoping those zombies are pretty good, because I don't play zombies. I'm not traditionally a zombies player, but I did play a good bit of Black Ops Cold War zombies. They had like some like arcadey mode that I would play sometimes, and it was a lot faster. You didn't have to worry about the story stuff, and it was just easier to get in and out. They still have the story stuff in Black Ops Zombies, but they've hinted that the story stuff is going to be easier to get to. It's a little bit more obvious, and I'm excited to see how and why, because the zombie stuff has long eluded me, but perhaps this is the one to really show me what's up with that side of the game. Anywho, I've talked for well enough time. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. If you like this content, I got a lot more videos on the VGU.tv channel, and there's even more videos from the rest of the gang here. Go ahead and click around and see other things. I played a lot of shooters in this test drive series, so go back and check out some of those videos potentially. But that is enough from me. If you want more from Emmett Watkins Jr., also known as EJ-Spun61, I am EJ-Spun61 on pretty much every place on the internet, so check me out there. But as I always say, keep it real, keep it trill, and play on, player. Peace out, y'all.